sure. I mean, yeah, for sure.
So now that's why I got to this point. That's now I got to this whole point of I don't think that this should even be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I'm glad that if it is an issue, that it is being played on equal field.
That is 100%, very much so, because it just should be. But that's somebody's life. It's somebody's life that was lost, man or woman. Doesn't matter. And it's like for once, you know, the law actually is doing something that isn't necessarily complete and total bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like given the situation, you know, use what you got. You know what I'm saying? They're actually doing that and was seemingly doing something that possibly even just a little fair. You know? Right, not being blatantly sexist. Not being blatantly sexist against the men, because the men are always losing these battles anyway.
Yeah, like it's not, to me, it's not prison worthy. I don't think, but I mean, it's not the most prison worthy, and it's not the least prison worthy. Let's just put it that way. Like you know, I think people that'll just lead to a whole other conversation about private prisons and all that other bullshit and quota and all that other bullshit, but.
Which we've already talked about, so that's cool. People can get that.
I do think that it's just a play on that. It's just, hey, the family needs somebody to blame. That's what they're doing now. That's what these things are doing now. Like people are literally, because I was shocked when it happened the first time. Not just because it happened to a female, but the fact that people are getting sent to prison because their significant other committed suicide.
Yeah. Well,
and they were texting them and saying, like, I hate you and all this other bullshit. Like, back in the day, niggas got cussed out. I've gotten told some really cool shit by ex-girlfriends. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not, but I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, because you also have to be aware of people's mental, you know, their state of mind. I guess you should say.
Right.
No, their mental state.
And bro, one other thing, a lot of people are weak, bro. You got to really just be blatant about it. A lot of people are fucking weak. A lot of people will take this shit. I'm not trying to be a dick. A lot of people will just take this shit, and that's it. That's their existence. You know, a lot of people can't suck it up. You have to grow up enough to be able to suck it up. You know, you have to be exposed enough life and enough heartbreak and enough shitty friends and enough just pieces of, I just said shit. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but you know, enough bad relationships all at you. You got to be able to just take it. You know what I'm saying? And then just finally get the tough skin, and eventually that shit doesn't bother you anymore. But here's another thing that's fucked up about social media. So as men, we honestly need to learn how to be alone. Do you agree with that?
Do you? Yes.
Yes. I do, yeah, I do too. Because men are not, as I said in the last episode, men are not guaranteed free attention. Men need to learn how to exist by themselves, and they will be okay. Women to a much lesser degree, because women are more social, women are more group creatures, men are more, you know, solitary, make the action. Women are reactory to the action. Reactory words? No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? And I'd say one step further than that. Two steps back. Women and females in general, of all species or whatever, their goal is to reproduce, and you can't do that by yourself. Exactly. On a biological level. I'm speaking purely on a biological level. Yeah, we're talking about, you know, the major shit here. But yeah, so but also it makes sense because you're talking about how women can't be by themselves like men can, and I'm telling you it goes down to the biological level. So I am talking about the shit. Okay. Well, but, no, I agree. But anyway, so social media will fuck up a man, so he starts thinking like he's a woman. Like if you get enough of this stuff in your face all day, you'll start acting the same way as them. He thinks he needs the attention like her. Then he's getting her telling him this and that. Kill yourself. That's all he has. He probably will. You know. And if he's sadly, like if he's been handed the silver spoon his whole life, and then one thing goes wrong, he might you know, peace out, which sucks. That's your life. But you know that when teenagers kill themselves, however old this guy was, I don't even know. They're not thinking about the big shit. You know what?
He was 21.
21. I almost made that stupid voice. I'm trying not to make any light of the situation. You know exactly the joke I was about to make.
To anyone?
To anyone? I'm trying not to make any jokes here.
Too late.
It's too late. All I'm saying is, what was I even saying? Okay,
You were saying what 10 plus 10 was.
Right, 1,010. But anyways, let me get back to the point here. Okay, so essentially, yes, if a man is exposed to social media and just little shit like this, he won't act masculine anymore, and he'll start letting stuff like this affect his whole psyche and frame of being. Which, I mean, it's fucked up for anybody, for men or women, to be exposed to my social media. But if a man is like not behaving as he should, if he's not experiencing solitude to some degree, if he's dependent on too much attention, and then that attention turns hostile, yeah, he might go. That's really rough that happened to this guy, because he might have had a really bad living situation, family situation, friend situation too, and it all just added up with one mean girl saying this and that to him. You know, I mean, more men kill themselves than women. That's just facts. A lot of the problems come from that. You know, what I just said. But
well, I mean, especially again, like we live in the age of validation too, like where everything needs to be validated all the time in every avenue of everybody's fucking life. And it's just I don't understand how we change so quickly as a society to try and be accepted so badly in every fucking like avenue. You know, it's crazy to me.
Everyone wants that same attention, regardless of their biology anymore, and it's because of social media. It's really fucking everyone up.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd ever say this, man, but I'm like, man, like it's never gonna happen, but damn, man, we really need to get rid of this shit, man.
Yeah,
like
whoever, it's literally getting worse by the month.
Yeah, like whoever thought an engine like that could just fuck everything up, you know?
Yeah, people are getting destroyed by this shit.
Yeah.
What gets me, man, is it came on so smooth, man, because like the 90s was so fucking good.
Oh, dude. Oh my
god. 90s was so fucking good.
Are we gonna have a nostalgia topic here?
And I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The early 2000s wasn't bad either, and then the fire pretty much 9/11 hit, and you know the whole world changed for after that point, honestly. But even as far as like between like male and female, like turning people gay and all that shit, like even that was still kind of down low, Then when you get into like 2008, 2009, 2010, it just starts to peak, and then like as technology just gets up there or whatever, man, they just throw this other shit on too with this whole offended Me Too bullshit, feminist, but not feminist, but really dictatorial. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you know what's funny? I saw a video the other day. I was watching I don't know if you guys remember who Arsenio Hall is.
Yeah.
But he had this talk show. And I was watching this clip online, and of course, this clip didn't have that many views. I'm like, how does something so real like this not have like millions of views? But and I was watching it, and it was these two guys standing in the back of the audience, and they were yelling at Arsenio Hall, asking him how come they didn't have some gay like more like gay representation on the show, like how come he doesn't have any gay guests on the show. Like representation, and you guys remember this is in like the mid to like early 90s, like early mid 90s,
way less common.
And it's and they're wearing like like real like gay. I'm not saying the shirt were gay, like it was like literally like gay representation on their shirts and everything. And he said, well, I just had so and so here like 2 weeks ago, and they were gay. It's just you didn't know it because I don't invite people here based on their sexual orientation.
Exactly.
Like, I've had plenty of guests on my show that were gay, but you just didn't know it because they don't need to tell you what their sexual orientation is.
It's not part of their fucking personality.
Exactly. They did exactly.
And I'm saying like that's what I'm saying. Like sexual orientation should not be their fucking personality.
That's the way it should be anyway, man. We've already talked about this. Like that is not a personality trait. Like, oh yeah, heterosexuality, that's part of who I am. No, bitch. It's what you're attracted to. Stop making that such a big focal point. Like, who gives a shit what you like?
Yeah. Now, when a time comes and that person is important to you, then yeah, they become a part of you and they represent you. I do believe like if you get into a serious relationship, that person represents you and you represent that person, you know,
for sure.
in certain ways.
For sure.
But when it comes to just your orientation, like, oh, I'm attracted to this, I'm attracted to that, like why do we need to know that? Like, we not being homophobic or anything, we just don't need to know that. Like, we don't care. But it's just the more
I'm not going to ask it.
And they'll rebut that with. I was going to say they'll rebut that with. Well, if nobody knows, then you know.
No,
our needs won't be met.
Like, we're gonna be one in society.
If nobody knows that we're gay, then how are we ever gonna get married?
What orientation is?
Yeah, it really becomes.
We need to come together. What's your orientation? Like shut. Nobody cares.
You know what? Not to put a friend on blast, but I met a gay friend in Florida. Never once said he was gay. It's obvious, but he doesn't talk about it because he's a cool person. Why can't everyone do this shit? You know what? Why?
Told you that he is. And you're just not assuming that he is.
No. He obviously is, bro. I'm not saying it as a bad way, but he's never once made it a big deal to talk about it. You know, which is cool.
Yeah.
Nobody else does that shit either. You know, like let's just be people. You know, like come on.
No, I was just saying that. I hope he told you that he is.
No. He's well, yeah.
It says he's assuming that.
I'm not assuming it. No, he actually is, and it's he just behaves as he is, which he was anyway. It's fine, but he doesn't talk about it or make it a big deal to let us know. It's obvious, you know. So
yeah,
that's fine. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. It's all about that validation, baby.
Y'all got any more of that validation from yesterday?
That validation. Hey, Jaron, so you got our other subtopic?
Yeah, man. So I'll go ahead and just I forgot that I was going to talk about this because we had a couple other ones on deck, but
forgot I had a topic.
Not really. Shit, my bad. So pharell,
for real,
was on the cover of GQ magazine. Now, if you all are not familiar with GQ magazine, this is the premier men's masculine magazine, right? Like,
okay,
people they promote people like George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg and all these outwardly masculine figures in pop culture, right? The magazine's been around for a while, and it's a men's magazine, is what it is. So you expect it to be a certain way, right? So they put out this article. Pharrell Williams is like the main model or whatever. He's on the cover, blah, 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 called The New Masculinity. And the cover, I wish that we had this on video just so that you could see this fucking cover. But just go check out Pharrell New Masculinity GQ cover. You'll see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Basically, he's wearing a long golden dress. It goes around his neck. His arms are in sleeves, and it goes down and goes out real wide like an old dress. And and of course you see that, and then you see the title that says A New Masculinity, and you're like,
really?
So what are they trying to promote here? And
now
in the article he talks about how the lines of gender are blurring and blah 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 blah. It's really fucking. I was actually trying to pull up the fucking article, but my phone's acting like a motherfucker right now. But
dude, it's so much worse when a celebrity gets on board with this shit. It's so much worse because somebody's gonna listen to exactly what they say. Somebody out there is this guy or girl's number one fan, and they're gonna do whatever they say, and it really sucks because these corporations know this. Like, they know some people are straight up slaves to the media. They know some people are sheep.
Yep, and there's some other pictures where he's wearing like light bright colored tight sweaters. He's got blonde hair, of course, which once we do the esoteric episode, the real hidden powers episode, whatever you want to call it. You'll go into the blonde hair and what that really means. On a lot of these celebrities.
Means we have more. means we have more fun, Jaron. Obviously.
No, it's dyed blonde hair, not natural blonde hair, dude. It symbolizes. I'm not talking about your hair. I'm just saying it means something.
As a blonde, I'm offended. But anyway.
Yeah, Corn showing some pictures right now. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So what does the blonde hair mean? Can you give us like a quick synopsis of what it means?
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do that, Jaron.
Quick synopsis.
You already brought it up.
So again, there's this thing called monarch programming. You just documented stuff. Look up monarch programming or monarch mind manipulation project MK Ultra. Just go Google that shit. This is a known program that the CIA did from the 40s to the 70s, arguably still doing it now, where they basically drugged people and manipulated their mind and got them to do things they wanted them to do, essentially, or act certain ways. This is a real thing. This is not bullshit. So there's arguably evidence, but a lot of talk, and there's a lot of symbols that are used. It's not just a real quick synopsis, but basically the blonde hair symbolizes that you are under this monarch mind programming that all celebrities are under. Some are worse than others. And it basically is part of your, not initiation, but it's part of your, it's saying, hey, I'm part of that, by the way. It's basically what it says. It's you see blonde hair, you see a lot of white and black, a lot of checkered patterns. You see leopard print on chicks and dudes. All those things, all those Mickey Mouse ears, butterflies, all those things are symbolic and mean, they all have hidden meanings to them in Hollywood and stuff like that.
Wait, what do you mean by Mickey Mouse ears? You mean like the little Mickey Mouse ear hat thingy?
Yeah. Or covering up one eye, even like people like stuff like that. They all have hidden meanings, and they all do it in plain sight. But it's all like I guess you call it hidden in plain sight. But basically, it's just like subliminal messages and
I agree.
And mind manipulation and shit like that.
I agree. I've seen a lot of that, Jaron. Yeah. And sometimes you just brush it under the rug because it's so normal and so normalized. I'll tell you one strange thing I heard not too long ago, but I agree with. It was on some video. These guys talking about stuff like that. There was it was back to like Jewish people, and how they were typecasted as villains in a lot of movies and in media, and that's why usually people with big, large noses, case in point, will be typecasted as a villain because of the whole Jew stereotype. Like that's why the Joker has a big nose. Maybe not intentionally, but like stuff like that will eventually like all catch up and make it about something else.
Okay,
I'm not saying.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying every single example, because of course it's not true. But
that's like something you've heard, or like that's what they did back in the day, essentially.
Yeah. Like you would notice. Yeah, you would notice. The more attractive people are always the good guys.
Random question, Adam. Do you know any of your anything about like any of your heritage? Like if you're like Irish or if you're like German or anything like that?
Let's see. Last time I looked into it, I think I did have a bit of Irish in me. I think it was, what was it? English? Oh, Cherokee.
I've never heard Adam ever talk about it before. That's why I'm just like, just curious.
It matters so little to me. But yeah, like I have some. Yeah, I know I have some actual Native American in me. I have a good bit of Cherokee from my mom's side of the family. Like she goes back to Native Americans at some point. But it's very obviously undertone. But yeah, I think most of it is either Irish or German. And so, I mean, maybe I'll do an ancestry check before too long. That sounds fun. Yes.
I know it was random. It just crossed my mind because I never heard you like when you talking about like like different stuff. But yeah.
Nah, you're good. Yeah, like it's interesting, definitely. Maybe I will get into it at some point. In more depth. I'm just talking about like Jaron just mentioned subliminal messaging and stereotypes. Which I mean, Jaron, it's been a while since I even thought about this. Why was Hitler obsessed with blonde people?
I mean, because I don't know.
Well, you're the one that you're the one that I would ask that to, though.
I mean, I've heard that before. I mean, only because because I mean, I guess in the eyes of him, that was perfection. You know, white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Why's it gotta be blonde and blue eyes?
That was what's. But I mean, that's like the stereotypical like. I don't. That's been carried down from somewhere. I actually don't know where that came from, but it's just I guess just from white people. You know, like because that's what everybody says. The perfect, you know, the quote unquote perfect patch of beauty is, you know, fair skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes.
I mean, I've heard the whole fair skin part. I understand that. I'm not saying it's like great to think that, but I understand. But the whole blonde and blue eye, I don't understand why that became so fixated and like focused on that.
That's just what he thought was pure, and also a lot of. Well, go ahead.
The ocean, the clear ocean.
Wait, what?
I said because I know at least for the eyes, it's because it represents like the ocean. Like the blue eyes represents like blue ocean.
Okay, that's odd.
No, I'm being for real. Like that's the only one I know about.
Yeah, I honestly I have no idea, man. I mean, I should go check that out.
Yeah, fair enough. Which that gets into the whole thing about the Jews too, being represented as something bad. There you go, Hitler. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other things we could talk about. But it's not.
All right, so back to Pharrell.
For real.
First of all, I just want to say, if we're gonna get into the conversation of masculinity, I even hate the fucking word. I can't fucking say it. Masculinity. Pharrell is not the person to ask.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just the fact that the dude's on the cover in general is you know, you already fucking something.
Like I may not be the most masculine person, but damn, dude, Pharrell ain't the dude to ask about masculinity.
Go ask fucking Danny Trejo or something.
But that's why they call it the new masculinity. Because what has GQ done historically had actually, you know, semi-masculine men on the covers. Yeah. At least, you know, not blatant, you know, not blatantly flipping masculinity on its head and saying, here, the new masculinity is caramel skinned dudes with blonde hair wearing fucking dresses and tight ass multicolored sweaters and with stripes and squares and, you know, choker and chains and all this other girly bullshit on it.
And you know what? We're coming up on a year of having this podcast.
You're right.
November.
Hey, you're right. Happy birthday, Comrades.
We're gonna do a year in review, by the way.
Are we?
I believe I said this on I might have said this on our very first episode, is that in a matter of time, it's going to be weird to only be straight. It's going to be weird to have all these masculine, what we grew up knowing masculine as, what I believe masculine is. It's going to be it's not just going to be rare. You're going to be looked at like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right. Because if you look in every fucking area now, they've done this shit. They've done it in football with what's his name? They did it in they've done it in basketball. Now they're doing it in fucking hip hop.
What's his name? Yeah.
Somewhat. With Pharrell. What's the football dude's name?
Pharrell.
What was it?
Oh shit, Michael
Sam.
something. Michael Sam.
Yeah, Michael Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did it with that nigga. Like, if you look at all this, it's just like, it's gonna be weird to be straight. It's gonna be weird to want to be the man in a relationship. Yeah. It's gonna be weird. That's gonna be something that you can't say anymore. It's gonna be something where you can't say, "Yeah, I'm the man. I wear the pants or whatever."
Well, you already can't say that.
You're gonna be looked at. You're gonna be looked at like, what?
You can say it, but yeah, you're gonna be frowned upon by everyone if you say that shit now.
No, not really, because women openly say there are women who openly say in interviews, like I see a lot of interviews and I talk to a lot of chicks. They want, like, at the end of the day, they want a man they will admit to wanting a man to kind of do the thing in a relationship.
Well, I agree.
They don't want the responsibility.
I agree, but the ones in the media aren't saying that shit.
Of course not. But I'm saying,
and that's what the majority are going to be listening to, Jaron, is the people who are saying the opposite.
Yeah, but I'm saying that people, when you actually talk to people on the street or when you actually talk to the chicks, they're not necessarily saying that yet. But what Corn's saying is
they're not the famous
soon they will be saying that.
Exactly, because enough will
But,
push.
and the reason but this connects though. This connects. The reason why they'll be saying that is because of
exactly
the media.
because
the media because the media is trying to the media is like Kool-Aid. They're just pouring. They're just everybody just continue to just from it. You know, all right, Kool-Aid's probably a bad example. A fountain. They're more like a fountain. So it's like it just keeps pouring, and people keep sipping and drinking from it.
A fountain of
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
They're going to start. They're going to start seeing all the effects are going to come in, and everybody's going to start seeing what they've been drinking the whole fucking time.
Thank you.
This isn't fucking new. We've been doing this shit forever. Like sitting back and watching them constantly just take person after person after person after person. Like people you grew up respecting, man. Like people we grew up. I hate using the word idolize. I don't idolize anybody, but people we grew up idolizing.
I mean, more or less, man. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Looking up to, you know, like people we grew up looking up to. It's just like they've either fucking off themselves or they've had some kind of fucking addiction that they couldn't fucking handle. They've done some weird shit like that. Like that Will Smith thing still fucks me up to this day. It's like what the fuck. But it all makes sense. Yeah. It all makes sense though. That's the funny part. It makes sense the way Will Smith is, the way his whole fucking family is. Like it's weird.
And
but anyway,
if you hear about the blonde hair, look what Jaden Smith does.
Yeah, his son. Yeah. As soon as you said the patches, I was like, oh shit, they got his son and Kanye. Like fuck. But
you see what I'm saying? It's everywhere, man. Like we're gonna have to do the episode though.
I would appreciate an episode about that because I don't understand.
Hold on.
Where's Jim Carrey? Where's the Wayans brothers? Like they were the most woke people we've seen in a long time.
But the Wayans brothers had to put on wigs and dresses and be girls. So
that's true.
They did their time too.
Some of them.
Yeah, some of them.
I will say this. Like the fact that they're taking somebody like pharell. Like Pharrell is the guy you guys are taking, shows me that they are not only disconnected. I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from them. I mean, away from him because he is, you know, a very well respected, you know, producer and artist. Period. He's not the guy. Like he's not the guy to. And I know you're trying to, you know, but you're not going to convince me that this is a new masculinity with Pharrell. Like. But that's just me personally.
That's you being actually masculine and that whole agenda not doing anything.
Like now if they took like Tom Brady or like Ray Lewis or somebody and said, you know, the new masculine, all right, and you're like, all right.
But that's the whole thing. The new masculinity is not masculine. The person, the clothing, the article itself, if you read it, all of it is the complete opposite of what actual masculinity should be and what this world and women really actually need in their lives and children as well.
Very true.
You can't sit there with an Easter sweater on in September or in October and tell me that's the new masculinity. I'm not going to believe that being masculine in 2019 is wearing Easter shit in October.
As you shouldn't, but like I'm saying, there's a lot of motherfuckers who are going to see that and be like, oh, Mom, I want to wear this.
It's really unfortunate that so many minds will be warped by what a celebrity is telling them. Because like masculinity and femininity are not meant to be warped and twisted. Like this other stuff is something else. It really just is wrong on so many levels to try to change what's been the same for decades, for longer than decades, fucking centuries, yeah, centuries, maybe even 1,000 years, give or take. It's ridiculous, and
Bro, you know 1,000 years.
Learn us. Right? Yeah, I know it's a millennium, but like, yeah, it's stupid because it's something else. Like, obviously, why can't we just if you're gonna push those things, which I get it, we're at this point where everyone's different enough and diverse enough, and the internet has made it very vocal enough that they want to just represent everyone. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. Don't call emasculating men masculinity. Yeah, it's the exact opposite. What is the point? You're just lying to the people watching, and they're getting fucked up in the head. What really pisses me off is just how little the fat cats care. People are destroying themselves, and
they're doing it on purpose. They care a lot, which is why they're doing it, and which is why it works on people. But that's another thing I was going to go into when I do that symbolic, when we do that, the cast to end all cast, because it's going to blow everything that I say up, and it's going to make everything's going to make so much more sense. Is because they put that will and that care into what they do because they really want it to happen, and it fucking happens. And that's the power that every human being has, but we don't tap into it.
Yeah.
They really want to fuck up everybody, so it happens. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Just like I really wanted this new job, so I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really wanted to save up for this car, so I saved up for the car and got the car. Like that's the same shit, but that's how fucked up it is, though. Just at the same time, like they know exactly what they're doing when they're doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like bad enough, you will get it.
Yeah, they may be evil, but they're smart.
Yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an agenda, and it wouldn't be successful. Yeah. Because it's fucking people up. The shit's working. That's the problem.
But what they've proven time and time again is they can throw anything. It's not just let's throw something against the wall and see if it sticks. No. They're throwing anything and everything against the wall, and everything is sticking. Everything's sticking.
Yeah, bro.
People are getting famous. That's the worst. Every time people are getting famous for anything now. I can say something stupid on this podcast, and the right person hears it, and they say, "Holy shit, this dude is fucking insane," or "Holy shit, this dude's fucking hilarious," or whatever. And then boom, skyrocket. I'm a fucking rapper now, or some shit. Like
that's how it always seems to go. Like that. From being an idiot to being a rapper.
It's the same thing whenever I talk about wrestling. It's like it's always creative. There are always creative minds behind it. They're gonna loop you in with a great creative story, with a great backstory. They're gonna take this guy from this poor little town in Virginia and give him, and then put him, seek him out of nowhere, look him up on contemporary Comrades, and then they see, oh, this guy had some kind of power, whatever. Okay, let's go make this power now. All right, now let's give him a whole bunch of money. Let him tell a sad story about whatever the fuck, and then loop people in because people feel bad for him or whatever. And then now this guy has a huge following. Now he's over here doing fucking video game reviews. Now he's got a rap career. Now he's, on IG Live, snapping on everybody, but getting paid from Instagram, doing all that shit, and just embarrassing himself, embarrassing people that are like him and people that look up to him, all kinds of shit. Like that's the mindset of the big G.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's only one scenario. There's a million.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yep.
Truly is a fucked society, which we say every damn episode. But it's like that guy, that short guy who attacked was attacked, who verbally attacked those people that got attacked at the bagel shop. I haven't heard a word out of him since that happened, though. I mean, I know he got. Really? Does he have more fame than that 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting his own fucking reality
show. Yeah, he's getting a TV show and shit, man.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that a few casts ago.
Fam, when I say this is no joke, when I say this is no joke, this is no joke. They are making everyone famous, like literally. And I say this all the time. Is a lot of people. I'll go as far as saying most people do not need their voices heard. Like they do not. We do not need your opinion at all. Because people don't know how to right. Man.
You don't need this piece of shit who has nothing to say but negativity pushing their word out, because you know what it ends up being about? It ends up being just giving somebody something to laugh at and feel better about. But at the same time, then those people who are laughing and feeling better end up feeling worse because you made this piece of shit famous, and now they're rich, and the people watching at home are not. Yeah. So it's like, what kind of message are you trying to send?
And before anybody says anything, because I've said before, I'm not explaining myself. Before anybody says anything, there's a difference between free speech and me saying somebody's voice shouldn't be heard. There's a difference.
Yeah, I was about to actually clarify that, but you beat me to it. So yeah, because I already know what motherfuckers gonna do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like I saw we didn't get that many comments, and I realized, oh shit, we might get a lot of comments from that one.
We're purely saying you don't need to promote.
Let me at least clarify that.
Yeah. It don't need no more clarification though. for me anyway.
It's pretty obvious. If you got nothing to say but shit, who cares what you got to say? You know? There you go. Bottom line, there you go.
What's the first thing you do when you see a chick, posting, oh, my, what great, beautiful mountains, and their ass cheeks are all out, like, and then what's your first put in the fucking comment section, right? You're gonna go to the comment section.
Oh, yes, beautiful.
Because you want to see the weirdest comments. You want to see the funny comments.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody puts something positive, and you go under their comments, and it's all negative stuff. Like it's
if somebody posts a good post, I don't even read the comments. If it's something like genuinely good for me, I don't care about the comments. If you see something stupid, then you either want to see the person getting roasted or getting like creepy compliments. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the comments come in handy, because they actually make this thing entertaining. Like, they made this dumb shit entertaining. It goes both ways.
And humanity's going to get worse anyways. Like, we're fucking ruthless. Like, you can go under somebody's comment from a post they made with a picture of them and their family, and like I saw one wrestler, he and his wife are in this angle on Raw, on WWE and Raw. I know I relate everything about wrestling, whatever. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. I'm talking about but they're in an angle on Raw, and then some people are commenting under his post on Twitter calling his wife a slut, and it's his wife in real life, and it's like, dude, like, y'all know this is
shit. Motherfuckers don't care though.
This is not real, right? Like, that's his actual wife, and people are still just
that shit crazy, man.
Yeah, and that's just another like small example of the many different things going on in this day and age. And I again, Pharrell talking about masculinity, saying all this the new masculinity and all this other different shit, trying to paint this image and paint this picture for people that are growing up in this day and age on masculinity could be. Now, I'm not saying being masculine you have to be like big and brute or strong, whatever, nothing like that. But it's just like, stop trying to paint this picture of what you think, of what the agenda you're trying to push, and trying to, include everyone and redefine a word that, quite frankly, helps define somebody and helps define a gender.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger slaps in the face to men here recently, in my opinion. Yeah. But especially because of GQ, who put out the shit, a men's magazine,
I have a question for you.
You know that men are always going to get the shittier end of the stick these days, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, man, it's just like, damn. But go ahead.
I have a question for y'all, though. Do y'all feel like, are y'all, and I don't mean like scared of it, scared, but like, do y'all fear that masculinity is going to be going, like, does it bother y'all that masculinity is going away?
No. I mean, I'll go ahead and speak first. No, because I don't care about other people as much as I care about myself in this regard. As long as I'm improving, fuck planet Earth. Sorry. Honestly, I mean, I know it's fucked up to say. I care about, people I care about. Hold on, let us single guys get off real quick. Yeah. Okay. Let me reiterate that. Maybe not the planet itself. The people I care about. The people that are going to come into my life that are also provide value, I'll care about them too. Even if I don't even know these people yet, I already care about them. If they provide value to me, I will return that value. As far as the people out there talking about shit like this, or those who are getting fucked up, and they don't offer anything to the world, if they're part of the problem, who gives a shit? If they're going to blindly follow words like this, who are pushing the wrong shit, demasculating men, or emasculating, whatever the word is, then I don't care. If it's not affecting me, as long as I'm getting better, let people be. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't have a problem with people being their truest self. Like, if you're gay, go be gay. If you're trans, go be trans. Whatever, doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is when you try to change someone actively and act like that's normal. But if that's the way society is going to keep going, the media is just getting worse. We know this. Like, news articles, reviews, this shit's just getting worse.
So you're saying that you're not afraid of masculinity way?
No, I'm not afraid of it because those who are real are going to stay real. You know, real respect real.
and this is why I want to jump in. That's why I want to jump in and give you my opinion real quick.
All right.
That's what I thought for the longest time, but I'm starting to see that now females' expectations aren't. They're not looking for masculinity anymore. They're just looking for any Tom, Dick, and Harry that's going to agree with them and just go with whatever they're going. Basically, a simp. I hate using the word simp because I feel like we overuse it. But
I disagree.
That's what women are starting to. And I'm not saying that all women, but it's getting to the point where I'm starting to notice it when I'm out here in the dating pool and I'm looking and it's just like I'm coming in contact and communicating with a lot of these women, and they're not looking for someone to take charge. They're not looking for someone to make the first move. They're trying to either do it themselves or they're trying to say like you're overbearing because you're trying to make you know what I mean? Like you're trying to make plans, trying to make moves, whatever.
Those women aren't worth your time.
You can say that, but we can continue to say that, but now you're starting to see where it's more and more women. It used to be your rare ones. They used to be a rarity. That's no longer a rarity. Because where a woman's like, whoa, you want to actually go on a date? Like, whoa. I mean, we talked about this before, where it's like women they don't want to they don't want to go on the date first staying out the gate. Most of them, or at least half of them now. It's a lot of things in terms of trying to make the date happen. Trying not even just dating, just communicating. You know what I mean? We're starting to see this trend. At least I am personally. I'm starting to see a trend of like to go back on the question of being afraid of masculinity going away. I'll say yeah, only because it does affect. I'm not saying like it's going to change my definition of masculinity or the way I look at masculinity as, but and how I perceive it and how I use it. But it's changing how everyone else in the world views masculinity and how they use it, if at all.
Yeah, I mean that's what you the last part what you said is what I was going to say. But as far as the chicks not being really like not really wanting men to lead, I see it a lot. And maybe I don't know really the reason why you're seeing that more than I'm not seeing that. I mean, yes, I have a girlfriend. I'm not actively approaching chicks and all this kind of stuff, but I still catch the vibes, and I still pretty much I don't treat I don't treat chicks differently because I have a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It's still a person. It's still a chick. I'm gonna do my natural thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like, yes, I do see what you're saying from certain types of girls, but maybe it's just the type of girls I'm attracted to because we are attracted to different type of girls. Let's be honest here. Maybe it's just like what I end up just kind of naturally going for. I don't know what it is, but the chicks that I end up like coming in contact with and that I can tell that kind of feel me, they don't seem to be so like, oh well, I don't need a man for. Well, they do say that, but they will be like, I don't they don't give off the vibe to me that they don't want to be led in a relationship, or they don't want to they don't want a man to be a man in a relationship. Yeah. I mean, I do see it. I see it more than I used to see it for damn sure, but I don't see it enough to where it's like, holy shit, I'd be afraid if I was single. Like I still don't see it that much.
Yeah. I see both. I see both sides. Hold on.
Now, and two, I'm not going to say things, but if I'm single again,
oh boy,
we'll see what they like. It's definitely on. We'll see what pops off when I'm really back in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? But
I know you say that every time, and I do agree, but I don't really give a fuck anymore. I mean, at this point, I care too much about become the best version of myself, and women should just naturally fall into place. Yeah, meeting them would be great right now, which I used to be obsessed with that shit, and y'all know that. Now I honestly feel like it didn't happen for a reason yet. That's cool. I met a few decent girls, but I just want to keep developing myself, and eventually something will click. You know, this is despite regardless of society.
I'm not.
Hold on.
I'm not.
Regardless of society being the way it's going, bro. Regardless of society being the way it's going, you know, yeah, some women, some men are gonna be fucked up by what they're being told, by the Kool-Aid they're drinking, whatever. Those are the ones you don't listen to. You know, at this point, I have no patience for that kind of bullshit. Which is, I come across that more and more now. You know, people I care about, talking like how I used to talk, being just so enamored with the idea of, oh, gotta have a girlfriend now, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta talk to her every day. The fuck you don't. No, the less you do, the better. Because then you're being more masculine. Then you're gonna attract more high quality women by not caring about it as much. You know. I used to think that trying harder was the key. Now, honestly, the less you're doing, the better. If that makes any sense.
I'm not talking about like pursuing women like now. I use that as an example for the future because I believe in the future masculinity will be won at the rate that we're going right now. That's where I was getting at. I mean, I know I'm not looking for a relationship or anything like that. Like, I'm sure we all want to be the best version of ourselves. We're all getting to that point if we're not there already. But what I believe is that masculinity will be going in the future, which is why I asked the question: like, do we fear it? Like, are we afraid of that going away, or have we just accepted the fact that, hey, masculinity, masculinity it's not going to be something that's more like it's going to be less and less of a sought out thing from females.
Well, the reason I said all that just now is because a lot of that pertains to masculinity. Like, I met men who were talking about getting this girl's Snapchat and getting on her Instagram. Like that is the most non-masculine thing you could possibly do.
But what's the first question they ask when you give them their phone number?
You have a Snap? Which I would say no, and I would say I'm not getting one. No, because.
And then what happens after that? What happens?
You leave.
either we don't text them back or they don't text us back.
But since so Adam, you literally just said getting a Snap is not masculine, right?
I don't think a man talking about that kind of stuff and treating it as normal is very masculine. No. Getting one, whatever. I mean, but talking about it being major.
But I know a lot of niggas who've gotten pussy off of getting this, just literally, hey, what's your Snap? You know what I'm saying? Getting a Snap and then making the moves to the Snap. So
they really want to use all these extra outlets just to get to the main event. I just find it pointless. Like using, let me get your Instagram, let me get your Facebook. That shit is like high school. We used to all do that in high school. And you still got guys out there our age doing it. It's stupid. Get to the point. Get off the damn dating app. Get the number. Go on the date. Why do we have to keep on having all these extra additions to the main thing we're getting to? What?
But that is the way we think. If we were 17 in 2019, hell.
Yeah, dude, I'm about to say, if I'm 20 years old right now.
We'd have a Snapchat because that's the new way. It's just, we didn't grow up with, oh, what's your Snap and all this other bullshit. That's why we don't. And we see beyond what Snapchat is viewed as.
Yeah.
We see beyond what most of these social medias are viewed as. The kids nowadays, they don't. And just because you have a Snapchat doesn't mean you're not masculine. It's the way you use it, whether you're masculine. Yeah. If you use it because every chick is asking what your Snapchat is. And again, I don't think that's even being less masculine. It's just not my preference of the avenue I want to go through. Like, I already went through a dating site. I already went through this fucking avenue. I'm not going to go through another loophole.
Just give me the digits and
like,
you should.
Or I'll give you my number. Whatever.
Yeah.
I would say what is not masculine about that is if you ask, or not ask, but if you say, hey, here, take my number, or what's your number, and she says, no, you can have my Snap. That's and if you take it, then that's not masculine. But if you say, but immediately to me, if she says that, I'm done with her anyway. But
yeah, Sam. That exact thing happened not too long ago, and I said no. Let me get your number. Like, this, fuck that shit. But
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that this is just another avenue. Like the whole thing, the whole Pharrell thing. It's another way of just trying to demasculate humanity.
Yeah, well, I mean, guys who or people who go against it, we're the minority. We get back to that in every big, social controversy that comes across. Those who disagree with it are the ones that people don't listen to. I mean, there's a few. You got to really be a big name to get the opposition out there these days. Like, I know a few YouTubers that I enjoy. Are semi big names, and they're getting the same kind of word we're preaching out there because they've earned that through tons of work. But most people who disagree keep to themselves, and that voice doesn't get heard. It's usually, and it's ridiculous how just the wrong side gets popular so much easier. It is so easy. Whether we just talked about that stupid ass bagel dude, or Daniel Bergoli, whoever the other idiot of the week is, stupidity just travels so much farther, reaches so many more people than truth and morality. It is ridiculous because it's entertainment.
We all know why that is.
Because stupidity is entertaining. Yeah, it's just and just the wrong messages getting passed along more because it's clashing with what we know and what has worked. I mean, that's easy to understand why that gets popular too, quote unquote. Stupid. I mean, as long as social media is as big as it is, as long as we're in the offended era, it's only going to get worse, man. I mean, you guys know that.
Yeah, it's going to destroy us. Social media is going to destroy us. I mean, it already has. People have like literally called it an addiction.
Oh yeah, people go to like AA type shit for fucking social media addiction.
Yeah,
gotta be kidding me.
I was talking to a chick the other day, and she said she can never put her phone down.
Crazy.
And I'm like, ha, that's funny. She's like, no, I seriously can never put my phone down. I'm always on my phone. I'm just like, Jesus fuck. Like, when were you born? She was like, yeah, I was born in like 2001. I was like, holy shit. Like, no wonder.
Yeah, that makes all the sense.
Yeah.
Generation Z. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like these 18-year-olds are just, they're no joke, dude. Like, it's app after app after app after app. Like, it's just, their whole life is nothing but apps and like zero human interaction whatsoever.
Right.
Nuts.
Yeah. Ugh. That's for sure, man. Well, anybody got any other closing thoughts?
Nah, that was pretty good finale there. I mean, so we get back to anime at the end, but I think this is a much more solid ending than going backwards. I mean, believe me, I can
I'm good. I'm good on the hentai.
Yeah, that'll be next time, guys. Don't worry.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, next time we're gonna cover. Oh yeah, that whole cult topic. We keep saying we're gonna do every episode and then never do every episode. So
we're gonna get there, man.
Also, the other episode we're supposed to have a female on it. We were saying
Jaron. How was that? Yeah, Jaron.
Damn, fuck me, right? It's my fault, right?
I had a female guest before Jaron.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did have female guests. Never mind.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Never mind. That's my beat.
We'll still have another one.
Yeah, we will at some point soon. Yeah, but but the occult podcast will come well before.
How about we actually do that one next time? Like, instead of talking about it, let's actually do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's actually that's gonna be the next episode, guys. Don't worry.
And speaking of cults, my next episode on the Half-Ass podcast with James, we're going to be talking about churches because we both finished the show, The Righteous Gemstones, and so now we're going to kind of do a little deep dive into like churches and the corruption within churches and religion and all that bullshit. James is going to have a bunch of like facts about it, and I'm just going to have a whole bunch of opinions like we always do.
Well,
I love
James has the facts back it up, and I just have my personal opinion.
the occult podcast that we're going to do is going to touch a little bit of that too. So
yeah, I got a lot to say about that too. Growing up with the wrong churches, and there was a couple good ones.
Well, no, it's going to be purely factual as far as like how certain churches operate and how they influence, things.
Yeah, but, and I'll bring some personal stuff in along with those culty MLM programs. But yeah, I definitely got you, man. I got shit to say in that topic too. So yeah, that'll be next episode, guys. We already got it laid out. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that is.
Well, thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, we've got Heavy J up here, and we've got Dirty Dishes Adam over there. And
of course, always, man, always.
And you got old cornbread over here. So yeah, it's Contemporary Comrades. Thank you guys for listening, and we hope that you guys come back for our next episode.
Damn straight.
Take care, y'all.
Contemporary Comrades out.
Later.